Hello and welcome to the iBUG Cafe. I'm your host Sree. This is episode 129 and today is March 8th, 2026. That only means good weather is on its way and just around the corner is March Madness. Here at the cafe, we typically take an in-depth look at an iOS app, and in today's presentation, we will take a look at the very popular when it comes to listening to audiobooks, that is the BARD app. Before we get started, I want to personally say thank you to each of you for attending this cafe in person, and for all those who will be listening to this cafe either on our website, our podcast, or in our YouTube channel. I also welcome you. And if you find any of our videos helpful, please hit the like and subscribe so the next time our very own Julie uploads any of our videos, you'll get notified. So now it's time for me to introduce the lady who I am not 100% sure if she enjoys listening to audiobooks or muting us. Our very own Sandhya, who's going to tell us what is going on this week here at iBUG Today.
All right. Thank you, Sree. We've got a packed week, people, so let's get ready to rumble. So we are going to have all events on Zoom today. Where you are right now is going to be the same link you use for all of these events I'm about to tell you about. And all events are on Central Time. Where will we start? Monday night, iBUG Buzz from 7 to 9. All questions relating to your iPhone and software and various accessories are fair game. It's a question and answer session, so we hope you come for that. And then from 9 to 11, the After Buzz. It is non-technical. Just hang out and get to talk about whatever we want to talk about. So that will be fun. Tuesday, we have the mini buzz from 5 to 6. There, you can ask questions about hardware type things like your Meta glasses and other smart glasses and all kind of things that hook up to your iPhone. Then Wednesday, we have something brand new at iBUG called the Homeland Watch Party. This is a show that was ran from 2011 to 2019, and it is like a CIA thriller kind of show. We're going to listen to the audio described episode together, and then we will discuss it depending on, we're going to see how this goes. We hope you'll come from the second and fourth Wednesdays. Okay, that's from 7 to 9. Then Thursday, we have the book club, Vila Book Club, iBUG Vila Book Club. We are reading Heartwood by Amity Gage, and it is the DB number 128729. 128729. A mere 8 hours and 47 minutes, so you can start now and you will be in good shape. Friday, iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies. So we have been featuring Oscar-nominated films for Best Picture. So let's see if we can. We've so far seen about, I think, 7. So we'll see if we can see if there are any more, or who knows what we're going to find out. If you want to know what we're going to be watching on Friday, come on Monday night at the halftime show at 8 p.m. Central, and you get to guess the clues that we're going to be trying to figure out what the movie is. Okay, then we have just for other social media, our website is ibugtoday.org, ibugtoday.org, ibugtoday.org. There you can register and get on our mailing list and find out about all of our events that we're doing. We're also on YouTube and other podcasting apps. And I forgot to mention the book club, though all of our books are on. Guess what? Guess what they're on? Sree, do you know what they're on?
BARD.
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 BARD. Okay. All right. Back to you, Sree.
Oh, also, Sandhya, did you want to mention about our drawing, or did you already mention that?
Oh, I forgot. Okay, so we are doing our annual drawing, and it is for a $500 shopping spree, tech shopping spree, or whatever shopping spree. And, iBUG is a nonprofit organization, and we appreciate your support because all of our services are provided, guess what? Absolutely free. So 25, probably more than that now, events every month, all for you. So the tickets are $10 for one ticket, and what is it? $50 for 6. So the drawing will be at our 15th anniversary in May. So be looking out for the information about that event, and we appreciate your support. Thank you, Sree.
So, Sandhya, I do have a question before I let you go. Audiobooks or muting us?
Audiobooks or what?
Or muting us? What do you enjoy doing?
Audiobooks, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
You mean as opposed to Braille or what?
As to muting us.
Oh, muting you. I couldn't hear you.
Do I get a vote?
Oh.
That's hard to say. I don't know.
Well, anyway, definitely check out our website. Lots of things going on, as always. So now it's time for everyone to introduce yourself. And today's icebreaker question is, what is your go-to app when it comes to listening to an audiobook? If you have multiple ones, just tell me your favorite. Let me know who you are, where you're calling from. And if this is your first time here at the cafe, please let me know.
Dawn from Ohio, and I'm a book nerd, so I have several audiobooks apps that I use for reading.
What's your favorite?
That's a trick question. I would say it's a toss-up between Audible or Libby or, yes, even BARD.
Okay, well, welcome.
This is Jody
Donald.
in New Hampshire, and definitely BARD.
Okay, welcome. I heard a few people there.
This is Cindy from Alaska, BARD.
Welcome.
Susan from Houston, BARD.
Welcome, Susan.
This is
from Southern
from
Illinois,
Ohio.
BARD.
Okay, welcome,
This
Dee.
is Jane from Ohio, and I use BARD.
Welcome.
This is Donald, College Station, BARD.
All right, I heard both of you. Welcome.
Donald, Oklahoma City, I use BARD.
Welcome.
Dana, Ohio, BARD.
Welcome, Dana.
Randy, North Carolina, BARD.
Welcome, Randy.
Janice from Maryland, Audible.
Welcome, Janice.
Linda, Texas, BARD.
Welcome, Linda.
Desi, Tennessee, BARD.
Welcome, Desi.
Nino D'Agostino, St. Joseph, Michigan.
Is this your first time here?
Yes.
And how'd you hear about us?
I got an email that had the Zoom link in it, and so that's why I'm here.
Oh, well, welcome. Glad you're here. What's your favorite audio app?
I use BARD.
Okay,
I love
well,
BARD.
welcome. Well, welcome.
Dorothy from Baltimore, Maryland, BARD.
Welcome.
Jillian from Washington,
Mary.
D.C., and I use Libby.
All right, welcome, Julian.
Mary Linda, Georgia, BARD.
Welcome.
Ned in Texas, BARD.
Welcome, Ned.
Robert Chandler, Audible.
Welcome, Robert.
Terry, Arlington Heights, Audible.
Welcome, Terry Ann.
Yeah, in Southern California, BARD.
Well, welcome.
Kansas, BARD.
Welcome, Deb.
This is Margaret from Baltimore. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Margaret.
We talked the other day, and it took me an hour to figure out how to get the Zoom going, but my favorite is BARD.
Well, welcome, Margaret. And this is your first time here, right?
It is, and it took me a long time to figure out how to get in.
Well, welcome. And Margaret, how'd you hear about us?
Oh, I heard a long time ago. I can't remember exactly when, but I'm signed up to be trained by somebody from your group.
Yeah, you're joining the Mentee Mentor program, so
Yes.
welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Mary Alice from Pennsylvania, Audible.
Well, welcome.
iPad.
All right, welcome.
Cynthia from Texas, BARD.
Welcome, Cynthia.
Michael from Ohio, the talking book player from NLS.
All right, welcome.
This is Scott from Arizona, and I use BARD Mobile.
All right, welcome, Scott. Scott, is this your first time here?
Oh, no. I've been here many times.
My apologies, but welcome.
Pat from Ohio, and yes.
What do you use?
BARD.
BARD, all right, welcome.
And I also use Libby, too, sometimes.
Okay, welcome. Who else?
Alexis from Maryland. My favorite app is Audible.
Welcome, Alexis. It's good to hear your voice. All right, who's next?
Paul in Columbus, I'm BARD.
Welcome, Paul.
Rosetta Stone from Conyers, Georgia, bookshare.org.
Okay, welcome, Rosetta.
Thank you.
This is Intisar from Iowa. I use all three, but my favorite is BARD.
Okay, welcome, Innie.
Thank you.
This is Sandhya in Houston, and I use BARD.
All right, welcome, Sandhya. How about you, Michael?
Michael in Texas. Let's see. How about
Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. A reading rainbow.
Reading Rainbow.
Go anywhere. Friends to know and ways to grow. A reading.
And also BARD.
BARD. Okay, I think that's the first time we had a music with Michael's intro. Anyone else here? First time here at the cafe?
This is Katie Ng from California. I'm not really new. I've been here off and on. BARD is my favorite book.
Oh, welcome. Anyone else?
This is Pete from Jacksonville, and I think I'll pick BARD.
You'll pick BARD. I hope so, or we're in trouble today. All right. Anyone else? Going once, twice. This is Sree. I'm from Virginia, and mine is Audible. So I would say there's a lot of people who are BARD listeners. Pete, would you agree?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough crowd.
I think they're going to be very interested in listening to what you have
It's
to
like
offer. But
playing music in front of a bunch of expert musicians, right?
Well, before we get started, I do have a trivia question for Michael, Sandhya, and Julie. Pete is excluded since he actually came up with this question. Inside the search in the BARD app, music is a new feature in BARD. So how many music books are available in BARD? So Michael, Sandhya, and Julie, if you can tell me what the number is.
Sandhya. Wait, audio music books?
Yep.
Wow.
This is it. This is new. I think we think it's new to Audible, so just see what you think.
I have no clue.
No clue means zero.
I'll say 1,000.
1,000. All right. Julie, you want to guess besides no clue?
I'll get 3,000.
3,000, okay. How about you, Michael?
How about 10K?
If you want to find the answer to the question, you're going to have to stick around. 10K.
And also, I noticed, and I'm pretty sure this because it's not available, but none of the Canadians, there's probably very few Canadians actually on the call today, or anybody else outside the U.S. that can't use BARD. So I was curious what they use up there. Is it? And
Brian's here. I think
Brian is on. I'm not sure of anybody else.
Good question.
Ryan, are you out there? What do you guys use in Canada?
This is John from BC, Canada, and I use Dolphin Easy Reader.
So in today's presentation, we've broken it into two parts. The first part is about 34 minutes, and the second part is about 22 minutes. It's time for me to introduce today's presenter, Pete Lane. Pete, would you like to say anything before we get started?
No, I'd just like to reiterate this is going to be a tough sell because almost everyone here, with a few exceptions, are BARD users. So it's going to be playing to people who know the app, and I hope that I'm accurate on the things that I put in the recording. So you guys be kind if I make any mistakes.
Well, Julie, let's go ahead and mute everyone, and we'll get started with part one of the BARD app. Namaste. This is Sree, and welcome to the iBUG Cafe. And in today's episode, we'll take a look at the BARD app. And if this is the first time you heard about the BARD app, or if you're currently using the BARD app and you want to know more about it, or if you enjoy listening to audiobooks, well then, you're in for a treat. And that's because the BARD app is absolutely free to use. And if you ever forget whether it's free or not, just remember, it rhymes with my name. And the other treat is, if you truly enjoy listening to an audio book or you like to belong to a book club, well, we have that covered here at iBUG today, because on every second Thursday of the month, we have the iBUG Vila Book Club starting at 7 p.m. till 8:30 p.m. Central. And in this month, we're listening to Heartwood. The DB number is 128729, and this book is about 8 hours long, so you have plenty of time to listen to it before we meet this Thursday. And as a side note, if you happen to listen to this presentation in any of our other platforms after this Thursday, definitely check out this book if you have not listened to it yet. And also, don't forget to come back every second Thursday of the month to listen to the next book in our book club. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some numbers from the National Library Services, also known as NLS, from ChatGPT. According to their 2024 data, they had more than 332,000 audiobooks. And as of 2026, from their total number of audiobooks, they have more than 150,000 of those which can be downloaded for offline usage, along with 100 different magazines which can also be downloaded for offline usage. And now it's time for us to get started with our presentation. And I'm so excited to have our presenter, Pete Lane, and he's going to cover the BARD app. And here are some of the topics he will cover in his presentation. What is BARD? What is the eligibility in participating in the BARD program? Search for the BARD app on the App Store, as well as downloading it. We'll go over the process in setting up the BARD app on your iPhone, the different ways that one can search for books or magazines inside the BARD app, take a look at all the features inside the bookshelf tab, go over the Now Playing tab, as well as some other topics that are part of the BARD app. So without further ado, Pete, please tell us more about the BARD app.
Hi, Sree. Thanks for the nice introduction. It's great to be back with you on the iBUG Cafe. Hi, folks. This is Pete Lane. Today, I'll be reviewing the BARD mobile app for iOS, and that's spelled BARD, which stands for Braille and Audio Reading Download. Let me first review some of the basic components of the National Library Service BARD program, and then we'll delve into where to find the BARD mobile app, how to download it, and we'll eventually get into a review of the app itself. If you're ready, let's get started. So now I'll allow my voiceover to read some of the provisions of the National Library Service website. The website is NLSBARD, that's NLSBARD.loc.gov.
BARD, Braille and Audio Reading Download, is a free library service of downloadable Braille and audio reading material for residents of the United States and U.S. citizens living abroad who are unable to read or use standard printed material because of visual or physical disabilities. BARD provides access to thousands of special format books, magazines, and music scores. All files are downloadable as compressed audio or formatted eBraille files. BARD is a partnership between NLS and its network of cooperating libraries.
Okay. There you've heard an overview of the BARD program and how it works. And while we're at it, I'd like VoiceOver to read one more section from the website. This relates to basic eligibility for the National Library Service program and how to get registered.
Eligibility for individual service. Any resident of the United States or American citizen living abroad who is unable to read or use regular print materials as a result of temporary or permanent visual or physical limitations may receive service through NLS. This includes those who are blind or have a visual, physical, perceptual, or reading disability that prevents them from reading or handling print materials. Who can qualify? NLS provides service to individuals who fall into any of the following categories. 1. List start. Blind persons whose visual acuity, as determined by competent authority, is 20/200 or less in the better eye with correcting lenses, or whose widest diameter of visual field subtends an angular distance no greater than 20 degrees. 2. Persons whose visual disability, with correction and regardless of optical measurement, is certified by competent authority as preventing the reading of standard printed material. 3. Persons certified by competent authority as unable to read or unable to use standard printed material as a result of physical limitations. 4. Persons certified by competent authority as having a perceptual or reading disability and unable to read printed works to substantially the same degree as a person without an impairment or disability. 5. Persons eligible for service, falling into any of the above categories, who are now living as residents of the United States, including its territories, insular possessions, and the District of Columbia, or American citizens eligible for service who are now living abroad, or dependents of active military personnel or diplomats. This includes individuals who have had a qualifying disability from birth, individuals who are disabled because of medical conditions or trauma, and individuals who become disabled as they age. Individuals who have a temporary disability may qualify for service on a temporary basis. Individuals who are blind or have a print disability and who have been honorably discharged from the Armed Forces of the United States receive special priority. Who is a competent authority? Competent authority is defined to include: bullet, list start, doctors of medicine, 1 of 7, doctors of osteopathy, ophthalmologists, optometrists, registered nurses, therapists, professional staff of hospitals, institutions, and public or private welfare agencies, such as an educator, social worker, caseworker, counselor, rehabilitation teacher, certified reading specialist, school psychologist, superintendent, or librarian. In the absence of any of these, certification may be made by professional librarians or by any person whose competence under specific circumstances is acceptable to the Library of Congress.
And some more from the website on getting started.
3 steps to begin using. 1. Become an NLS patron. 2. Register for BARD. 3. Get a device. You can get a free talking book player on long-term loan from your network library, buy a commercial model on your own if there are features you prefer, or download the free app to your smart device. BARD Mobile is available at the App Store for iOS or the Play Store or Amazon App Store for Android.
More details about book players and what might be available can be found on that website or by speaking with your local talking book librarian. What we'll be focusing on in this demonstration will be specifically the BARD mobile app for iOS. Let's talk about getting registered. Initially, you'll need to fill out a form, which is very simple, and then you'll submit it to your local authorized talking book librarian. Let's take a quick look at that form now. I'll go back to our website.
BARD, Braille and Audio Reading Download, Heading Level 1. Individual Application, Heading Level 2.
We'll first have to locate our individual NLS library and then contact that library before we're even able to see the form to register.
Please select the library you are affiliated with.
We'll select that with a one-finger double tap.
Please select a library pop-up button.
That's a pop-up button. We'll double tap on it, and I'll just go to my local Florida library since that's where I reside.
AK, the Alaska State, AL.
And of course, they're in alphabetical order. I'll just use the magic of my editing software to skip to my local talking book library here in Jacksonville.
FL, Talking Books / Special Needs, Jacksonville Public Library in Jacksonville, FL, button.
I'll select it.
Pop-up button. Submit button.
We have the Submit button. I'll single finger double tap on Submit.
Submit. Individual application.
And now we're presented with the application to complete. I'll just flick through it very quickly without completing it.
First name, middle initial, last name, address, second address line, city, state, Florida, pop-up button, ZIP code, your library, Talking Books / Special Needs, Jacksonville Public Library, Jacksonville, FL, email address, confirm email address.
When we're done here with confirming our email address,
type of player, NLS Digital Talking Book Player / BARD Mobile App, pop-up button.
Then we select this item that's already populated, type of device, the Talking Book Player / downloadable app.
Submit button.
A submit button. Okay. Now that concludes our brief overview of eligibility and getting registered with the National Library Service and the BARD mobile program. We've determined we're eligible and we've submitted our registration form. We'll wait to hear back from the local library. In the meantime, let's run over to the App Store and download the BARD mobile app. Now that we've determined eligibility and how to get registered with the National Library Service program, our next step is to download and install the app on our iOS device. Let's go to the App Store on our home screen.
App Store, link.
We'll single finger double tap to open the App Store.
App Store, today, back button.
We'll go down to the bottom margin of this screen with a 4-finger single tap, and we will select the Search tab.
Search tab.
This opens up a search field at the top of our screen where we will go with a 4-finger single tap again, this time at the top of the screen.
Search, heading, games, apps, stories, and more. Search field is editing.
And we're placed in the text field where we will enter BARD Mobile.
Search. BARD Mobile, books, 3.5 stars, 36 ratings, button.
And there it is, BARD Mobile, books. I've already downloaded it to my iPhone. The setup process was very simple. All you need to do is enter your information that your local talking book librarian had given you after receiving your application and confirming you as an NLS and BARD participant. So now let's go get acquainted with our BARD mobile app. Before I get into the details of navigating through the BARD mobile app, I'd like to play a brief YouTube video demonstration from Judy Dixon. Judy Dixon is the Consumer Relations Specialist for the National Library Service BARD unit.
From the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C.
Hi, I'm Judy Dixon, Consumer Relations Officer at NLS. In this edition of the BARD Mobile How-To series, I am going to cover using advanced voiceover gestures. Advanced voiceover gestures, which I will demonstrate, can be used to streamline the BARD mobile user experience. Flicking up with 3 fingers will scroll down one page. Rotating clockwise will select the next rotor setting. Flicking down will move to the next item using the rotor setting. Scrubbing with 2 fingers will activate the back button. Double tapping with 3 fingers will turn speech on and off. In a long list, such as audiobooks and recently added titles, you can go through the list quickly with a 3-finger flick up gesture.
Wish list. Recently added titles. Audiobooks. Audiobooks. 0 items. Get. Audiobooks. Willow. Andrews, rows 5 to 9 of 51. Rows 9 to 13 of 51. Rows 9 to 13 of 51. Rows 13 to 18 of 51.
The focus has to be on the list for this gesture to work. To spell an author's name, you can use the rotor to change to characters. Changing the rotor setting is like turning a knob on the screen.
Words. Characters. More info. The Storms of Love, a new Camfield novel of love. Cartland, Barbara. Words. The Storms of Love, a new Camfield novel of love. Cartland. Characters. Capital CARTLAND. Delta.
You can spell the name by using the flick down gesture that moves through the items that the rotor is set for. In this case, the rotor is set for characters, so flicking down moves through the screen one character at a time. A two-finger scrub gesture activates the back button.
Get books. Heading.
Two fingers are moved in a backwards Z shaped.
This has been a presentation of the Library of Congress. Visit us at loc.gov.
So now it's time to dig into the BARD mobile app. I'll go to the BARD app on my home screen and we'll get started.
BARD Mobile.
Double tap to open.
BARD Mobile.
The first thing we'll see at the bottom is 4 tabs, and they are
Tab Bar, Bookshelf, Tab 1 of 4, Get Books, Tab 2 of 4, Settings, Tab 3 of 4, Now Reading, Tab 4 of 4.
Before we get into the details of the app, I'd first like to review the settings, which is the third of the 4 tabs at the bottom of the screen. Let's do a one-finger double tap on our Settings tab.
Settings, Tab 3 of 4. Settings, Heading, Audio Settings, button. Braille and Display Settings, button. User Account Settings, button. Siri Settings, button. BARD Mobile 2.2.5, 854.
All of those are the various individual settings within the Settings tab. We'll start with the User Account Settings.
User Account Settings, button.
Double tap to select.
BARD account, PSLANE 7625 at yahoo.com, button. Download over mobile network off, switch button. Auto lock during download off, switch button.
Here are some decisions for you to make regarding Wi-Fi and your battery usage.
Show me, audio only, button.
Here you can choose what book information you wish to have shown to you in the BARD app, either audio books or Braille books or both. I'm not a Braille reader, thus I've selected audio only.
Selected, audio only, button. Braille only, button. Both audio and Braille, button.
And that's it for my user account settings. Let's find our back button and go to the next group of settings.
Settings, back button. Settings. Audio settings, button. Speed, 100%. Tone, 0. Background playback off.
Those volume and tone settings are the default. They can also be adjusted in the Now Reading tab, which we'll find out when we get to it in a few minutes. And I do not want background playback.
Restore defaults, button.
This Restore Defaults setting is going to be standard pretty well throughout these settings.
Settings, back button.
We're finished with the audio settings. We'll tap on our back button and go to the next group of settings.
Settings. Braille and Display Settings, button.
I'll take a look at my display settings.
Contrast, black and white, button. Selected, black and white, button. White and black, button. Black and yellow, button.
I could select from those display settings, but here we move into Braille settings, and I am not a Braille user, so I'll play them for you.
Braille reflow off, switch button. Braille display length, 40, button. Braille auto scroll off, switch button. Time per line, 1500 milliseconds. Time per character, 50 milliseconds.
If you're a Braille user, you are more familiar with those settings than I.
Restore defaults, button.
And our Restore Defaults button. And that completes our Braille and display settings, leaving one more group of settings under our Settings tab, and that would be Siri settings. Siri settings are one of the more recent features brought about in the BARD mobile update in 2024. Let's jump right in.
Siri settings, heading. Now Reading Audio, button.
Siri settings are consolidated under the Now Reading button. Let's open it up.
Now Reading Audio, button. Playback, button. Navigate.
Now we have 2 categories, Playback and Navigate Siri controls. Let's take a look at the Playback.
Playback, button.
One finger double tap.
Playback, heading. Start playing.
This is the first Siri command that you can choose to add.
Add it to Siri. Start playing. Button.
I have already added it, so I will activate it. Hey Siri, start playback.
Okay.
Hey.
Why? Either she doesn't want to set the whole woods ablaze and barbecue herself, or because she doesn't want someone else to see her fire.
Hey Siri, stop.
Stop. Hey Siri, stop playing. Return to Siri. Button. Stop playing.
You just heard the next command, stop playing.
Added to Siri. Stop playing. Button.
Added to Siri means that I've already added this Siri command.
Sleep timer, an interactive shortcut.
The sleep timer Siri command is an interactive shortcut because it has multiple options.
Added to Siri. Sleep timer. Button.
Here again, I've already added it as a shortcut.
Sleep timer 15. Add to Siri. Button. Sleep timer 30. Added to Siri. Sleep timer 30. Button.
You heard there, I've already added the 30-minute sleep timer option as a Siri shortcut.
Sleep timer 45. Add to Siri. Button. Sleep timer 60. Add to Siri. Button.
So you've got the options all the way up to the 60-minute sleep timer that you can set as a Siri shortcut. I'll continue flicking to the right.
Sleep chapter.
Here's a feature that will allow you to set a sleep timer until the next chapter. I have not yet added it, so let me double tap on Add to Siri.
Add to Siri. Button. Edit and shortcuts. Button. Shortcut added. To use it, say this phrase to Siri.
So the phrase I'll use in the future is sleep chapter.
Change voice phrase. Button.
I can tap that button if I wish to change the phrase to something else, but I'm fine with sleep chapter. So we'll tap done.
Done. Button. Siri settings. Back button. Now reading audio. Heading. Playback. Button.
We just completed our playback settings, so let's double tap on navigate.
Navigate. Button. Next chapter.
We can add next chapter as a Siri shortcut.
Previous chapter.
And I've already added previous chapter as a Siri shortcut, so I'll activate that now. Hey Siri, previous chapter.
Looks at me closely. What's going on with you? I've always admired your open mind.
Jump back. An interactive short. Add to Siri. Button.
And by the way, that audiobook that you're hearing is our latest iBUG Vila Book Club selection. The name of the book is Heartwood by Amity Gage. We'll be discussing it on March 12th. It's an excellent read. Jump back is an interactive shortcut because once again we have different levels to jump back.
Jump 20 seconds. Add to Siri. Button. Jump back. An interactive shortcut. Add to Siri. Button.
Okay, that finishes up our Siri commands, and that finishes up our Settings tab. So let's move on to our next tab. All right, folks, we have determined our eligibility to use BARD. We downloaded the app from the App Store and installed it on our iOS device. We've even gone through all of the settings necessary to operate the app effectively. Now we're going to tab 2 of 4, the Get Books tab, and we'll start downloading something that we can actually read using the BARD mobile app. Here we go. I'll flick to the Get Books tab and perform a single finger double tap to open that tab.
Get Books, tab 2 of 4. Get Books, heading.
Let's flick to the right to see what elements are available in this tab.
Search, wishlist, recently added to BARD. Most popular books. Browse magazines, previous downloads, search music.
I don't recall this category being here earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and tap on it and we'll see what it reveals.
Search music, search field. Dictate.
The Beatles.
Inserted the Beatles, go, button. Today, heading. Here Comes the Sun. A lesson on the style of the Beatles. Brown, Bill, total time 38 minutes 12 seconds.
Okay, I've downloaded the book to my device. I've gone to the bookshelf and retrieved it. I'm going to hit play right now.
Hello, this is Bill Brown, and this is the Guitar by Ear instructional recording for Here Comes the Sun.
Well, how about that? You learn something every day. You can obviously download music, and that's something that I'm going to explore when I get through with this demonstration. But now, let's move on to some other sections of the Get Books tab. Let's go from the bottom of that list up.
Previous downloads.
We'll take a quick look at previous downloads. Single finger double tap to open that element.
The Rose, fingerstyle solo, for guitar, late beginner, in the style of Bette Midler.
And we open to the most recent of my previous downloads, which is a brief tutorial regarding how to play the song The Rose in the style of Bette Midler on the guitar. But let's go back to the top of this screen since we opened up somewhat below the top element.
Get Books, back button.
And here we begin with the Get Books back button. Flicking to the right.
Previous downloads, 50, heading.
And as you hear, it loads 50 at a time. Continuing to flick to the right.
Toolbar, title and author search.
We can search these by title and author.
Search field.
There's our search field. We can search by date.
Section index, adjustable.
And it's in the form of a section index.
Gen 10, selected. Gen 07, selected. Gen 06, selected. Gen 02, selected.
There you see it lists dates on which I downloaded books from the BARD catalog. So there's our previous downloads section. Go to our back button.
Get Books, back button. Get Books.
And we'll go back to our initial list of Get Books elements. Remember, we're going backwards up this list.
Previous downloads.
Let's flick to the left.
Browse magazines.
Browse magazines. With a single finger double tap, we'll dig into this. And here's a list of available magazines which we can browse.
AARP Magazine and Bulletin Audio. American Heritage Audio. American History Audio. Asimov Science Fiction Audio. Atlantic Monthly Audio. Audubon Audio.
As you hear, we've got quite a few from which to select. Let's go back to our back button.
Get Books, back button. Get Books. Browse magazines.
To where we left off with Browse magazines. I'll flick to the left to move up that list.
Most popular books.
Single finger double tap.
Audiobooks, 50. Toolbar, title and author search. Search field.
We first make a selection, either title.
Toolbar, title, button, 1 author, button, 2 of 2.
Or author. Then we enter our search terms if we have a particular book that we are looking for. At this point in the presentation, I'd like to present another video from Judy Dixon, Consumer Relations Specialist for NLS. In this demonstration, Judy will discuss managing your downloads.
NLS BARD Mobile How-To Series. How to Manage Downloads.
Hi, I'm Judy Dixon, and I work in the Patron Engagement section at NLS. In this edition of BARD Mobile How-To Series, I am going to cover managing downloads. From the Get Books tab in BARD Mobile, choose the list you would like to download from, and then select the format of book or magazine you wish to download. Audio book files are the largest, so we will use them in our example. From the list of available audio books, select the title you wish to read. Double-tap the title to initiate download. You will get a confirmation message. Select OK. While the book is downloading, double-tap the title to pause. Double-tap the title again to resume the download. You will hear a tone when the item finishes downloading. You may download up to 3 titles at a time. Any additional titles you select will be queued for download once another title finishes downloading. Once a title has finished downloading, you may begin reading right away. When you double-tap the title button, you will jump to the Now Reading tab. Double-tap the play button to begin reading. For more information about reading and navigating books, see the other tutorials in this series.
And now we'll return to scrolling through the list of the most popular books on BARD. We can just flick down the list, which I'll do now, flicking to the right.
Downloaded. No Plan B, a Jack Reacre novel. Child, Lee/Child, Andrew.
Here's the first of the popular books list, which I've already downloaded. Now, each book title, where it lists your title and your author, is followed by a More Info button, in which an annotation and additional information tells you much more about that particular title. We'll cover that in more detail in a moment.
Downloaded. Long Shadows, Baldacci, David.
And here we have another book, Long Shadows by David Baldacci, which I previously downloaded.
More info, Long Shadows, Baldacci, David.
And a More Info button on that same book.
Downloaded. Distant Thunder. Woods, Stewart. More info, Distant Thunder. Woods, Stewart.
And here's Distant Thunder by Stuart Woods. Let's tap on the More Info button. Single finger double tap.
Distant Thunder. During an intense storm in Dark Harbor, Maine, a perplexing murder lands a dead man on Stone Barrington's doorstep. As secrets swirl around this mystery man's identity, Stone quickly sets out to unravel a web of cunning misdirections and lies. Soon enough, he is embroiled in an elaborate game of cat and mouse between the CIA and nefarious foreign forces, including a bewitching new companion who comes under his protection. But when Stone's actions draw the attention of an old enemy, provided by publisher.
An annotation, description of the book, provided by the publisher.
Unrated.
We also hear how the book was rated.
Commercial audiobook.
And here we find that this particular recording is a commercial audio recording, which is happening more and more lately with BARD selections. This means that they were commercially recorded by the publisher, and often the readers are professionals contracted by that publisher.
Narrator, Tony Roberts.
Tony Roberts is our narrator, our reader.
Total time, 5:15:00. Book number, DB, 110630. Read, button.
I have previously read this book. Okay, remember that was all in the More Info button following the title and author line for that particular book. Let's go back now to our back button.
Audiobooks, back button.
And rather than tap on that back button to go to the previous screen, I'm going to flick to the right and go down and review a couple of other features of this screen. Flicking to the right.
Details, heading, More Actions, button.
And here we have a More Actions button. This will unveil some additional options. Single finger double tap.
More action alert. More actions.
Now let's see what other choices this offers us.
All books by Woods Stewart, button.
We can get a list of all books by this particular author.
All books in suspense fiction, button.
Or we can see a complete list of books in the suspense fiction genre. Or we can get a different list sorted by
all books in mystery and detective stories, button. All books in the Stone Barrington novel series, button.
Or another list sorted by all books in the Stone Barrington novel series. That's the main character in this book that we've been working from here.
Subscribe to the Stone Barrington novel series, button.
This is a really handy feature. If you're particularly fond of this series, you can subscribe to the series, and any future book releases by this author in that series will be automatically added to your wish list without you having to go look for them. So let me subscribe to that series with a single finger double tap so you can see what will happen.
Subscribe to the Stone Barrington novel series, button. More actions, alert. Subscribe. New items in the series Stone Barrington novel will be added to your wishlist when they become available. OK, button. Subscribe to the Stone Barrington novel series.
So you press OK with a single finger double tap to back out of that popover. So let's back out of this screen to our audiobooks back button.
Audiobooks, back button. Get books, back button.
And go back to our Get Books tab.
Recently added to BARD.
Recently added books.
Audiobooks, audio magazines.
We first choose whether we want to look at audiobooks or magazines.
Audiobooks.
Again, we can scroll, which I'll do now by flicking to the right.
The Fires of Blackstone. Johnstone, William W./Johnstone, J. A. Total time 9 hours 45 minutes. Actions available.
As we did in a previous list, if I flick up using my action rotor, we once again see other presentations that we can choose from.
All books by Johnstone, J. A. All books in Western stories.
So rest assured that no matter what kind of list you're in, if you use your action rotor, you'll still have a choice of different types of list presentations, which you can browse and make some selections. Pretty handy features available in the BARD app.
Download.
Here's another choice that we haven't yet seen. We can download the book, which is our ultimate objective, to find a book that we want to read. So now let's back out of this list to our recently added items back button.
Recently added to BARD, back button.
Single finger double tap.
Recently added. Get books, back button. Get books.
And we will go to the previous item in that particular list.
Wish list.
Which is our wish list. Single finger double tap. Now, our wish list is kind of like a holding bin where books that we have located through one of the means that we're reviewing right here in our Get Books tab appeal to us, but we're not quite ready to download them to our device and read them now. So we can add them to our wish list for future consideration to download and begin reading. I'll flick through some of these titles.
Rescue Team, Grace Medical, Calvert, Candace, Audio, More Info, Rescue Team.
And again, each book has a More Info button, which will give you the annotation, and has a More Actions button, which you can tap to get to those other presentations. All books by that particular author, all books in that genre, series, etc. that we had reviewed before.
Subscribe to the Grace Medical series.
We also have the option to subscribe to that particular series. And let's hit our back button.
Wishlist, back button. Get books.
And we'll go to that final element in our list of elements under the Get Books tab, and that will be the search feature.
Search.
This search feature now gives us the ability to be more precise in our search terms. There's a series of parameters which we can signify to be the way we are searching, including book title, author, things along those lines. Let's take a quick look at that. Single finger double tap on search.
Get books. Search field.
And we're presented with the search field, and I'll go ahead and dictate my search words into this text field. Dirt.
Inserted dirt.
Now, I dictated the word dirt, which is a title. When searching for a title, it is best to put the title in quotations.
Quotation mark. Cap D-I-R-T. Quotation mark.
Now, we will go down and look at which parameters we are choosing to search by.
Search by keyword, button, selected. Search by title, button. Search by author, button. Search by annotation, button.
So we should designate which particular search parameter we are opting for before we actually perform the search command, which will be accomplished by hitting the Go button following your search field. So I'm going back here.
Selected. Search by title, button. 2 of 4.
And as you see, I have selected my title. Now we will flick back left.
Clear text, button. Cancel, button. Go, button.
Up to the Go button. Perform a single finger double tap.
Go.
And voila, our search begins.
The Dirt on Dirt. Bourgeois, Paulette. Total time 1 hour 18 minutes.
Let's flick to the right.
Downloaded. Dirt, a novel. Woods, Stewart. Actions available.
And here we get dirt, which, as you heard, was preceded with the word downloaded, indicating that I have already downloaded it to my device. And it's written by Stuart Woods. So there you see how we can perform a search. So that concludes our review of the Get Books tab. Before we move on to our final 2 tabs in the presentation, let's take a few minutes here and open up the floor to questions.
All right, Pete, thank you. That concludes the part 1 of the BARD app. We're going to open it up for some questions and comments and focus your question on what we covered in this part of the presentation.
This is Dan.
Go ahead, Dan.
Pete, how did you put in the quotation mark?
That's a good question. I think I dictated, and I started the dictation with quotation mark, dirt, end quotation, something like that.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember off the top of my head, Dan, where the quotes are on the iPhone screen, probably under the symbols keyboard on your on-screen keyboard.
This is Sree. It's on when you have the virtual keyboard. If you go and find the num button, the quotation mark towards the top right corner, I think it's below the 0 and the
right
in that area. You'll find it.
Yeah, swipe past up through 9 to 0, about 3 or 4 swipes past that, Dan, and you'll find the quotation open and closed. Thanks, Dan.
Who's next?
Randy.
Go ahead, Randy.
Hey, Pete, I was wondering, when you sign up originally for the BARD Mobile, which is actually a service of the National Library Service, you send a form into your local talking book or library.
Right.
So I'm thinking, so depending on which library you originally signed up with, I'm thinking the feed of the books and magazines you're getting are related to that region.
What do you mean by feed?
For example, sometimes when I go to look at the recently added books, I will see titles that have to do, they're kind of grouped together in the region where I originally signed up. And also sometimes available is a quarterly newsletter of the ACB chapter in that area as an option.
Yeah, I could see that happening maybe with magazines, periodicals, things like those lines. I'm not sure they're regional or other than national in any of the talk audio book categories, either recently added or popular books. I would imagine those are based on national preferences.
This is
All right.
Paul.
Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, Pete, I happen to have run across that situation a year or so ago myself, where we had the book I was interested in, downloaded it, and it had been produced by a state agency. And then right after I finished that, I went back and happened to run across the same name again, and it was the commercial version from one of the publishers. So it can happen.
Okay. Wow, interesting. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
This is Jody.
Go ahead, Jody.
Yeah, I just, of course, I'm in New Hampshire, and I just downloaded a book that was from the Minnesota library. So I think it is national. And whatever library uploads it, I think they upload it to the whole National Library Service. My question is, when you were going through the settings, there was something there for background, and I'm wondering what that referred to. It was more the audio playing settings, and I'm wondering if that's not the feature where you can play the audio in the background while you're doing other things on the phone.
Yeah, play in background. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Okay, then I want that off too.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Distracting for me. Yeah, thanks, Jody.
Yeah, go ahead, Pat.
Thank you. Great presentation today, Pete. And
Thanks,
I
Pat.
did learn something because I was wondering, and I guess I never noticed that more info button. But they used to, when you downloaded a book, if it was a series, it'd have something on the screen on the older format before it got updated. So now I know how to subscribe to a series. Thank you.
Yeah, you'll find that again, Pat, when we get into the bookshelf tab. If you run across a title in your bookshelf, you can do the same thing. Just swipe up and down. You're automatically in that actions rotor, and it gives you all those choices.
Yeah,
Very
but
handy.
it's nice to subscribe to it because then they do show up in your wish list, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. Glad you learned something. Thanks, Pat.
Hi, this is Anita.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a question about when you're downloading. Do you have to have the app open? Do you have to be in the app for the book to download? Because sometimes I've downloaded some books and then switched over to something else.
I don't believe you have to be in the BARD app, and I wonder if there's a setting in there, and if that background that Jody was asking about a moment ago might have something to do with that. I'm afraid I don't remember off the top of my head.
I think I have downloaded, and I click on download, and I just go back, and then I get a sound alert saying it's downloaded.
Yeah. I think you can be anywhere. I don't even know if your phone needs to be unlocked to continue the download. But certainly you don't have to be in the BARD app. You can be elsewhere on your phone doing mail or, going into some other app or something like that, and your download will continue.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
This is Jody.
Go ahead, Jody.
Yeah, I was under the impression you did have to have the app open. But the comment I was going to make is one of the choices in settings is that you'll be able to download on cellular. And there have been many times when I've been away from Wi-Fi and I want to download a book. So I've turned that feature on so you can download on cellular and you don't have to be on Wi-Fi.
Right. Yeah. Just be careful that you're aware of your data.
I've got unlimited.
Plan,
so
right. But not everybody does. That was just a caution for everybody.
That's true. Yeah, very
Thank
true.
you.
I think my experience has been that app can be open and you can go somewhere else, like Pete said, the mail app, and just the app will be running in the background and it'll be downloading it. I think that's been my experience.
I can check that and follow up at a later time.
Oh, you can always come back to our Monday night call and ask that question, and we'll try and get that answer for you.
Yeah.
Michael.
Robert?
We'll go to Michael, then Robert.
Yeah, just a comment. Recordings you were doing there from Judy Dixon were excellent, but just for your FYI, she's no longer with NLS. She's retired a couple of years ago. Yeah,
that's too bad. Yeah, we had her on here, didn't we? A couple of years ago.
Yeah, several years ago.
She was a great resource. She was a wonderful lady. Yeah. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
In discussing downloading, did not hear reference to the DB numbers. Is there a way you can just enter the DB number and then not have to go through author, title, etc.?
That's a good question, Robert. And I don't remember if in the search field, we did cover the Get Books tab. I did cover the search feature, and I know there were several categories where you could search. Keywords, title, author. Don't remember the DB number.
This is Sandhya.
Yes, Sandhya.
Yes, you can do that.
Good.
You just in the text field, just type in the DB. You don't even have to put DB, just write the number.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that picks up any wording in the annotation as well. So I would imagine if the number appears anywhere on the book or the related data, then it'll work. Thanks, Sandhya. Good question, Robert.
Pat, did you have something else to say?
I was just going to say you can put the numbers in the keyword search.
The general
That's all I was going to say.
Okay.
You also don't have to delineate whether it's, you're searching. You could just put the number in and you don't have to say if you're searching for the author or the title, you don't have to delineate that. Right. But also, as far as turning on cellular, it's great and everything. Just remember to turn it off as well. It burns up battery like nobody's business. I had a big battery problem where it was just, it was like up to something ridiculous. So just be aware of that.
Good.
Can you hear me? This is Margaret.
Go ahead, Margaret. We can hear you.
Well, I'm obviously not that sophisticated. I've been doing just voiceover. Does this all voiceover?
This whole session is all on voiceover using the BARD app.
So, because I have not been, I've been like double tapping on the Get Books and all this. I haven't been doing all the sophisticated clicking and all that. And I've just been using VoiceOver. How do I get more training on this? Yeah, I feel like I've been cheating because I've just been, actually, I've had other people type in the titles and stuff like that because I don't even know how to do it. I'm cheating.
That's okay.
We don't call it cheating, Margaret. We call it finding a way.
Yeah.
Everything's legal in VoiceOver and accessibility. You're good.
Good point.
This is Cindy.
Cindy.
I don't have Wi-Fi. I just have cellular, and I have it set up in settings, not settings in BARD, and I keep it plugged in when I listen to books, and I haven't had a problem at all.
Yeah. I mean, if you have it plugged in, you're not going to have any problems.
Right.
Battery-wise, yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about downloading on cellular. That might take up some cellular data if you're paying for a cellular plan.
Mine's unlimited, so.
And you're in good shape.
Yep, thanks.
Pay your electric bill.
Again, can you use an iPad for this, or do you have to use your phone?
You can use an iPad.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Good point. All right. Who's next?
Mary Linda, you said that you could find other books by that same author that you are reading. Mm-hmm. Can you cover how to do that again?
I actually will cover it in the next section. We're going to get under one of the tabs at the bottom, the main categories. It's called the bookshelf. And I'll listen carefully when I get into the bookshelf, and we'll talk about the actions rotor, and that's where you can pay attention, and I'll go through the process in great detail then.
Great, thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Any questions?
Yeah, I think we need to move on, Sree.
Okay, Michael. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the second part of Pete's presentation. This is about 22 minutes, and after that, we'll open it up for some more questions and comments.
Hey folks, welcome back. Before we proceed with the next tab in our presentation, I wanted to insert a little trivia question here. You may recall that in our previous segment, under the Get Books tab, I encountered a new category that I hadn't seen before called Search Music. And when we pursued that tab and searched for music books, we came up with a Bill Brown demonstration on how to play the guitar with Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles. I learned there are other music categories by folks other than Bill Brown. So here's my trivia question. This question is for Sree, Michael, and Sandhya. How many music books would you estimate are available on BARD? One more time. How many music books are available on BARD? Let's get your answers, and then we'll find out later in this demonstration. It's time to go to our bookshelf.
Bookshelf, tab 1 of 4.
And here it is on the bottom left corner of our screen. I'll do a one-finger double tap to open it.
Bookshelf.
Before we get into the details of navigating through our bookshelf, I'd like to add one more how-to video from Judy Dixon, Consumer Relations Specialist for NLS. In this demonstration, Judy discusses searching for books.
NLS BARD Mobile How-To Series. How to search lists.
Hi, I'm Judy Dixon, and I work in the Patron Engagement section at NLS. In this edition of the BARD Mobile How-To series, I am going to cover searching lists. In the Get Books tab, you can search any list of titles by title or author. In the Bookshelf tab, you can also search lists by title or author. From the Get Books tab in BARD Mobile, choose the list and format you wish to search. The list of titles will display ordered by date added. Under the heading and navigation bar, there is a text field. Enter the title or author search term you wish to find. In this example, I will choose audiobooks in the recently added to BARD list. In the text field, I will type Old Man because I am looking for the title, The Old Man by Thomas Perry. Then double tap the search button. The title I am looking for will display if it was recently added to BARD. Another way to find this title is to type in part or all of the author's name. In the Bookshelf tab, you can search lists by title or author. From the Bookshelf tab, choose the format of titles you would like to search. Enter title or author terms in the text field below the heading and navigation bar. In this example, I will search on the title term Petty in audiobooks, as I am looking for Petty, the Biography by Warren Zanes. After double tapping the search button, the book I am looking for will display. Another way to access this title on the bookshelf is to type in part or all of the author's name. For more information about reading and navigating books, see the other tutorials in this series.
And now let's dive back into our bookshelf tab.
Select category.
We're immediately asked to make a choice. Select category. We've got 3 choices.
Audiobooks, 89 items. Audio magazines, 5 items. Help, 1 item.
And we'll start with the audiobooks bookshelf.
Audiobooks, 89 items.
Double tap to select that category.
Today, heading.
Let's flick to the right.
New York Dead. Woods, Stewart. Total time 8 hours 2 minutes 30 seconds.
We hear the most recent on my bookshelf is New York Dead. The author is Stewart Woods, and it gives us the reading time. And again, if I flick up on this item with one finger, we get the whole variety of list presentations as we have with other lists. All books in this genre, all books by this author, etc.
Delete.
I can delete it from my bookshelf here.
Activate, default.
Or I can activate it and begin reading it.
More info, New York Dead.
Here again we have our More Info button.
New York Police Detective Stone Barrington happens to be looking. Details, More Actions, button.
We have a More Actions button.
More Act Alert. More Actions.
This presents the variety of lists again.
All books in the Stone Barrington. Unsubscribe from the Stone Barrington book series, button.
And an unsubscribe button, since I'm already subscribed, but I don't want to unsubscribe, so we'll back out of here.
Cancel, button.
We'll go back to our bookshelf list.
Audiobooks, back button. Audiobooks. Yesterday, heading, Dirt, a novel. More info, Dirt, Sleight of Hand, a novel of suspense. Margolin, rows 5 to 9 of 89. Rows 13 to 17 of 89. Rows 22 to 26 of 89. Rows 30 to 34 of 89.
I'm just swiping up with 3 fingers to go down to the bottom of the list. We have 89 items.
Vertical scroll bar, 22 pages, 100% adjustable.
Okay, we reviewed the most common area of the bookshelf tab, audiobooks, but there's another category here for reading, which is a very, very plentiful source of entertainment. We'll go right back into our bookshelf tab.
Bookshelf. Select category, audiobooks, 91 items.
Here's our audiobooks category, but here's our next source.
Audio magazines, 5 items.
Audio magazines. Let's explore this particular tab, shall we? I'll single finger double tap.
Today, heading, Musical Mainstream July, 2025. Total time 2 hours 26 minutes 24 seconds. Musical Mainstream October, 2025. Total time 2 hours 31 minutes 6 seconds. More info, Musical Mainstream October, 2025. Musical Mainstream January, 2025. Total time 2 hours 1 minute 16 seconds. More info, Musical Mainstream January, 2025.
I have subscribed to the magazine called Musical Mainstream. Now, just as in our regular audiobooks bookshelf category, we have all of the same features available. We can subscribe to this magazine. We can find out the details. As you heard, there's a More Info button. We can find out a summary annotation about the magazine, and all of the same features that are available within the audiobooks bookshelf are also available to us within the magazine's bookshelf. We have an OK button to confirm. Single finger double tap.
OK button. Audio magazines, back button.
And with that, we're taken back to the top of our screen with the back button. Let's flick to the right and see what else we have on this list.
Audio magazines, 6 today, heading, Rolling Stone October, 2025. Total time 4 hours 36 minutes 50 seconds. More info, Rolling Stone October, Rolling Stone November, 2025. Total time 4 hours.
I've got a few copies of Rolling Stone in here. Let's play a little bit of it.
Navigation. Rolling Stone November, 2025.
Rolling Stone, November 2025. Copyright 2025 by Rolling Stone LLC. Read by Doug Tisdale Jr. This magazine contains 66 pages. Approximate reading time 4 hours 30 minutes. Contents. Opening Act. Contributors. Page 6. Read all about it. K-pop. Olivia. Nas. Random notes. Why Netflix's K-pop Demon Hunters and its soundtrack are taking over the world and charts. Page 11. The Many Lives of Tupac Shakur. Page 13.
Stop.
And there's just a little taste of Rolling Stone. Doesn't that make you want to break out in song? On the cover of a Rolling Stone. And we'll go back to the top of our bookshelf list, and we'll move on to the next element in that list. We have one more remaining element under our bookshelf tab. We've already covered the two more popular elements, those being the audiobooks and the audio magazines elements. But let's go take a look and find that third element. We'll do a single finger double tap on our bookshelf tab.
Tab bar. Bookshelf. Tab 1 of 4. Bookshelf. Select category. Audiobooks, audio magazines, help, 1 item.
And here's the last of the 3, a very short one, a help element. And there's only 1 item in this heading. And as we select it, you'll hear that we are opening the BARD Mobile User Guide.
BARD Mobile User Guide. Select to open. BARD Mobile User Guide.
This is a self-contained tutorial guide, so we'll just let the BARD User Guide tell the story.
Welcome to the BARD Mobile Application User Guide for iOS devices. This handbook will guide you through the various features of BARD Mobile, an application that allows you to download and read books from the National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled, NLS, Library of Congress, through its Braille and audio reading download BARD website. 1.2. Operating BARD Mobile. Heading Level 3. BARD Mobile is completely accessible to visually impaired individuals when used with Zoom or the Voiceover screen reader, 2 standard features on iOS.
And there's a sample. We'll hit our back button.
Help, back button. Bookshelf, back button. Bookshelf.
And that concludes the review of the Help button, the third and final tab in our bookshelf list. Before I leave the audiobooks list here, I want to go back and demonstrate further the actions list that are available when you flick up on the title. I'll go back to the top of the list here.
Bookshelf. Select category. Audiobooks.
I'll stay in the audiobooks list, but I've got some newer books listed on my bookshelf. Let's take a look.
Today, heading The Southern Lawyer, O'Mahony, Peter, total time 8 hours 37 minutes 11 seconds.
So there's our basic book information, title, author's name, and the length of the book. But let's take a look at the more info.
More info, The Southern Lawyer.
1 finger double tap.
The Southern Lawyer. After more than 20 years away from the law, Joe Hennessy is forced back into the courtroom, trying to save his vineyard after years of drought. Hennessy returns to practice in Charleston, South Carolina, the city he walked away from after the murder of his 10-year-old son. When one of South Carolina's most powerful men is charged with possessing stolen artwork, Hennessy steps forward to defend him. But as Hennessy digs into the evidence, as he navigates the truth, he finds that the criminal charges are only the start of their problems. Ellipsis.
I just wanted to show you that these more info descriptions of the books are now very detailed and, in general, longer than they used to be before the 2.2 version was updated in 2023. There's also information below that I won't go down to where you can actually place this book on your wish list or download it straight from this particular section. But let's go back and I'll show you some more items on another book.
Audiobooks 11 items, back button.
Double tap here.
Today, heading The Southern Lawyer.
Earlier in this demonstration, we ran across a music book. I'm curious to see what other lists are offered when we use the actions rotor on one of those books. So we'll go down this list quickly.
Here Comes the Sun, more info, something, The Beatles, for guitar. Brown, Bill.
Here's another Bill Brown book. This one demonstrates how to play the guitar parts for Something by the Beatles. Let's see what other options are available if I flick up with 1 finger.
All books in the Guitar by Ear series.
If I'm a guitarist and I want to learn how to play the guitar, Bill Brown has dozens of these tutorial books. This will give me a complete list of the Bill Brown books on playing the guitar. A pretty handy tool to have. I'll continue flicking up with 1 finger.
All books in instructional. All books in popular music. All books in guitar.
Any way you want to slice it, it looks like BARD can present you a customized list. I'm curious about how many books we might see in the popular music category. Let me flick back to that item. You may recall that that was our trivia question at the beginning of this presentation. I think this deserves a drum roll.
All books in popular music. In progress. All books in popular music 985 results.
Well, there's the answer to our trivia question. BARD offers 985 books on how to play music. Who's our lucky winner? I have one more curiosity question. How many books has Bill Brown written in his Guitar by Ear series?
All books in the Guitar by Ear series 718 results. Title, button, author, button, already gone, for guitar. Brown, Bill, alone, for guitar. Brown, Always Making Love. For guitar, Hey Jude, Brown, Bill/Lennon, Help, Brown, Bill/Lennon, John/McCartney, Paul.
No, I'm not going to list all of the 718 results, but this does conclude our review of the Bookshelf tab in the BARD mobile app. And now it's time to move on to our fourth and final tab, the Now Playing tab. See you on the other side. Okay, we now come to the fourth of our four tabs at the bottom of the app, and this tab is
Tab Bar, Now Reading, Tab 404.
The Now Reading tab. Before I get into the details of the workings of this particular interface, I'd like to play another short video from Judy Dixon, Consumer Relations Specialist for NLS.
NLS BARD Mobile How-To Series. How to navigate an audiobook.
Hi, I'm Judy Dixon, Consumer Relations Officer at NLS. In this edition of the BARD Mobile How-To series, I am going to cover navigating an audiobook. Several options are available for navigating audio materials. You can use the navigation panel, the adjustable position slider, or the jump by and previous and next buttons on the player interface. To use the navigation panel, select the navigation button from the Now Reading tab in BARD Mobile. If you are using an iPhone or iPod Touch, selecting the navigation button will bring you to a new screen. If you are using an iPad, the navigation panel will open in a popover screen. Not all navigation options are available in every audiobook and magazine. The three sections within the navigation panel are Contents, which are generally chapters or sections of a book or magazine, Page, which are page numbers if available, and Bookmark, which are set at the beginning and end of a book and any others you add. Navigating by Contents will allow you to jump from section to section or chapter to chapter within a book. Chapters or sections that have another level, indicated by a gray arrow or the word plus, can be expanded by double tapping and holding. Navigating by Page allows you to jump from page to page within a book. Navigating by Bookmark allows you to jump from the beginning and end of the book and to and from any bookmarks you have inserted. Note that unavailable navigation options will be indicated by the word dimmed. To use the adjustable position slider, activate it and then flick up with one finger to move toward the end of the book in increments of 10%, or down with one finger to move toward the beginning of the book in increments of 10%. To use the jump by button, double tap it to hear the current navigation level. Change the navigation level by double tapping the jump by button again. When you hear the level you wish to jump by, double tap the previous button to navigate toward the beginning of the book, and double tap the next button to navigate toward the end of the book. Note that your jump by selection is saved for each title. So if you set it to jump by chapter in a particular title, when you return to that title, it will jump by chapter when you use the previous and next buttons. For more information about using BARD Mobile, see the other tutorials in this series.
Okay, let's jump into our Now Reading tab. One finger double tap. We're in an entirely new screen, the top element of which is
Recently Read.
If we tap on that button, we will be shown a list of recently read books, and if I continue to flick to the right,
AirPlay button.
We have AirPlay, which would allow us to send our audio to another destination, another device.
New York Dead heading.
Continuing to flick to the right,
Navigation button.
This reflects the last few chapters of the book we've been reading. I'll double tap on it to show you.
Navigation selected. 1, Chapter 54. 1, Chapter 53.
I'll continue flicking to the right.
Narrator, Chuck Benson.
Chuck Benson is reading.
Book number, DB 36337, 080230/080230.
This is our clock time progress indicator. We're 8 hours and 2 minutes and 30 seconds into a book, which is 8 hours and 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. So we're at the end of the book.
Current position 100%. Sleep timer.
Here's our sleep timer. Let's double tap.
Sleep timer. Sleep timer. 15 minutes.
Filming all the way, of course.
Each additional time we tap it, it adds another 15 minutes to the timer. These are the same increments that we encountered back in the series settings.
Bookmark. Button.
And while it's coming, and while the guy is trying to break down the door.
The next element to the right is our bookmark.
No doubt.
Bookmark added.
I'm going to jump ahead to the stop button and stop the playback.
Stop. Previous. Button.
Now going back to the button that follows the bookmark, we have the previous button. I'll click to the right from there.
Jump by chapter. Button.
This is referred to as the jump by button. If we tap on this button multiple times, it will alternate between different thresholds in the book.
Jump by phrase. Jump by bookmark. Menu. Jump by chapter.
With this button, we can select the unit measures by which we want to advance or reverse when we tap the previous button.
Previous.
Chapter 37. Chapter 36. Chapter 35.
Conversely, as we tap the next button.
Next button.
Chapter 36. Chapter 37.
You get the picture. As we continue to flick right past the next button, we come to a rewind button.
Rewind button.
If we perform a one-finger double tap on the rewind button, we will reverse by 5 seconds each time.
Back 5 seconds. Back 5 seconds.
If we perform a single finger double tap and hold,
back,
our place in the book will reverse
20 seconds.
First by 20 seconds.
1 minute. 5 minutes. 15 minutes. 30 minutes. 1 hour.
And then another hour as we continue to hold that rewind button. And the fast forward button works the same way, except it forwards our position in the book by the same increments. As we continue to flick to the right, we pass the play/stop button.
Play button. Stop.
Before leaving the house, Stone shoveled the steps and the sidewalk in front.
Fast forward button. Speed button.
We have our fast forward button and the speed/tone button. This allows us to set the speed of the narration, and if we double tap on that speed button, it toggles it into a tone button, which allows us to set the frequency, and by frequency I mean the amount of treble versus bass that we have in the narration. And if we double tap on the tone button,
tone,
it toggles it back into the speed button.
Speed button.
Where we can turn the narration speed as low as 50% of its normal pace.
Speed 50% minimum.
And as we flick up on that button, we can speed it up to as high as 175%.
Impressive, isn't it? We tape depositions, and we have other capabilities too. You'll see in a minute. He took the cassette from Stone, inserted it into a machine.
Stop.
So this winds up the review of our fourth and final tab, the Now Reading tab. Let's go ahead and open up the floor for questions.
All right, that concludes our presentation on the BARD app. We're going to now open it up for some questions.
This is Margaret. I'd like to know how you delete books.
Okay, if you want to delete them from your bookshelf, which is probably when you're done reading a book and you finished it, the book will remain in your bookshelf. So you go into the bookshelf tab, which is your bottom left button on the screen, the first of 4 tabs in the bottom row, and you double tap on the bookshelf. And then you find the book in your list. And when you get to the title of the book, like in my example, the title that I was reading there was Dirt. Then you flick up or down. Either way will work, and you will eventually get to a button that says delete. Then you just do a double tap with one finger, and you'll probably get a confirm button. Do you really want to delete this book? And you double tap it again. And then
I was swiping to the left and getting the delete on the right. So you're saying go up?
Yeah, it's the same way that we would go up to find those other lists, like all books in this genre, all books by this author, all books in the detective series. And then if you flick up, keep looking up or down, you'll get to a button that says delete.
Well, when I've been using Voiceover, and when I try to go through a list of books to find one I want, and I use 3 fingers to scroll up, it'll be very difficult. And you do the different way to get to your books.
Well, I did demonstrate the 3-finger swipe up that I think you're mentioning.
Yeah.
That goes down a list. If you have a long list, for instance, remember I had 89 books on my bookshelf. It goes down 1 page at a time. Each time you swipe up, it goes down. It's kind of like swiping a piece of paper up on the table, and your focus goes down toward the bottom of the list. But that's just a quicker way of going down the list than swiping to the right, which goes one book at a time, one book title at a time. That's called the flick to the right or left. And that will take you one book, one item at a time. If you're in a list like books, or if you're like on your mail app on your phone, or any list like that, you can swipe to the right and go one item at a time. But the 3-finger swipe up takes you down one page at a time generally.
Yeah, I usually get like 3, and then all of a sudden it'll stop doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably at the bottom of the list by then, yeah.
All right, thank you. Pete, I did mention that one question that Stan asked about when you're listening to a book, and if you accidentally deviate from it, is there a way to get back to where you were listening to?
Yeah, it was a good question. Interesting question. Sree asked a question to me that a friend of his had asked. Is there a way to return to your previous spot in the book? So say you're on chapter 64, in the middle of chapter 64 in whatever book you're reading, and you're at the 14-hour and 30-minute mark. And then you accidentally, because it's easy to do, you trigger return to a previous chapter, or go back a chapter, or you hit your percentage slider, which is very easy to do. And instead of 14 hours and 30 minutes, all of a sudden you've flicked inadvertently, you've hit your progress slider back down to 10 hours and 14 minutes. Well, Sree was asking me if there's a button or a simple way that you can return to your previous spot, go right back, rather than having to try and remember where you were and just hit or miss search like that. And I did not know of such a button. But I did check with ChatGPT, one of my research friends, and it did tell me that if you do so within a very brief period of time, I think it mentioned like approximately 5 seconds. Wasn't that about right, Sree?
I think so.
Yeah. If you end up moving to somewhere else in the book and you catch yourself really quickly within a few seconds, you can hit the opposite button. So if you've hit your previous button, would take you to a previous chapter, and then you realize it within a few seconds, you can go to the next button and it should return you right back to the exact spot where you were before you made your mistake. Now, I've not tried that, and it would be nice if they had like a default button, that would take you back, even if you waited 5 or 10 minutes or the next day, if you had like a bookmark or something, which you can do, and there's ways to prevent that. Some people trigger their bookmark button. What the bookmark does is places a marker, a digital marker, at whatever spot you are currently on in the book. So if in my example you're at the 14-hour and 30-minute mark, some people decide they're going to tap their bookmark every few minutes. So if something happens and they end up losing their spot by hitting another button, then they can just go back to their bookmarks list and get back to that exact spot. It's kind of like when you're in a word processor on a computer and you want to save your work. You've worked on a Word document, or in my example, and Sree's example, when we're editing like an audio file, recording or something, we save our work periodically if we're good, if we think about it, because sometimes if your computer goes down or if you hit a delete button by mistake, you'll lose all your work. Well, that's a preventive measure that you can do in BARD, and just tap your bookmarks periodically, and that way you'll have a marker you can get back to.
This is Sarah.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yes, ma'am.
Sarah.
For the 5-second thing, I think it's much longer. When I have my book set, when I have the advance or rewind to set to chapter, it will take me back to the original place I was. But I don't think you can do it again. It's just like, the next time it happens, you can, right. But you can't, switch back and forth.
Right. It's not a toggle switch, right?
Exactly. But it's more than 5 seconds.
Well,
I think you've got a little bit more time.
Good.
ChatGPT works, so you sometimes have to take that with a grain of salt when it gives you an answer.
At first said there was a button, and I went to look for the button, and it didn't exist. There was no such button on the BARD app. ChatGPT said, go to this, whatever it was, button, and there was no such button. So
this is Cindy.
Yeah, go ahead, Cindy.
The read button, I never really messed with much. When you went through that, I do it manually as far as rewind and the rate of speech and all that. I do manually by moving my finger to the different commands. Was the fourth read button, were you customizing the different navigation things? Like you went through and you said sleep button and all that. Was that regarding the fourth tab, or was that just in general?
Still not getting it, Cindy. Last part of the presentation presentation was on the Now Reading
Now
tab.
Reading tab, that's
Yeah,
what I'm talking
right,
about.
right.
Yeah, you went through functions that are normally on the desktop, I'll call it.
Right.
Like sleep and rewind and all that. And
Right.
it sounded like, why were you going through that on the read button? Do you customize it?
No, not really. They're just individual controls to navigate through the book. Fast forward, you can rewind, you can go.
The thing to do is read, the read button.
Well, it was a Now Reading tab. The whole screen
Now
had to
Reading.
do with navigation while you were reading the book. There's no read button per se.
Well, whatever the title is, I'm sorry. The fourth tab.
I guess I'm not getting your question. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't understand why you went. I don't know.
I think the answer is, Cindy, is that last tab, there's some default buttons as you're listening to the book. Those are the buttons that Pete was going over.
Okay, that I understand what you're saying there. When you went through the bookshelf, audio, and then one under that, and then I thought the third option went into Braille, and you mentioned BARD help.
Yes, it was
a help. Is that on the bookshelf?
Yes, but that was, remember, I do not read Braille, and I made a selection in the settings tab what presentation I wanted given to me by BARD. And one of the three choices, Braille, audio, or both Braille and audio. And I checked audio only. Now, had I checked Braille or Braille and audio, then it would have had another tab in the bookshelf tab that probably had Braille books.
How'd you get BARD help?
BARD help is on everybody's screen. It should be there for anyone.
This is Scott.
Just want to add something to it?
Yes, I was just going to mention what he's describing on that Now Reading tab and on others. These are basic controls that appear on your touch screen that you can either flick to or slide your finger to. And then, as Voiceover will speak them accordingly. And the Now Reading tab is laid out very much like it appears to me that it's laid out very much like at least the DA first digital book player.
Yeah,
I don't know about
similar.
the DA2.
Exactly.
But they're laid out very similar.
With the tactile buttons, right?
I mean, they're on the screen. That's what he was describing as the various controls that you can
they're all pre-existing.
And maybe I gather that you're new as you explore voice, their environment with Voiceover and the various gestures, and you should be able to grasp it a little more. It may be fairly new to you at this point.
That's good explanation, Scott. Thank you.
Thank you,
Take
Scott.
2 more questions before we
Andy?
call it a day.
Hi, it's Rita.
All right, let's go to Randy.
Hey, Pete, I've been using BARD for a number of years, and I just had a feeling I was going to learn something new listening to your presentation, which was a subscription. I did not know you can subscribe to, like an author or genre that you like, which is useful information. But one thing I like about the bookshelf part of the app is I usually have about 10 books in my bookshelf at one time, just depending on what kind of mood I'm in. And one thing I like about the bookshelf is there's 3 headings: title, author, and latest. And when you select one of those, that's the order in which your bookshelf's going to be in. If you toggle it again, it'll switch the ascending or descending.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Good, Randy.
That's all. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Last question. Since I'm not hearing anything, just want to make some final announcements. Everything I'm going to announce is all Central Time. We have the Monday Night Buzz from 7 to 9. And then stick around afterwards for our social gathering. Tuesday, we have the Mini Buzz, 5 to 6 p.m. Wednesday, we have our Homeland, which is a new thing we're doing. So come and join us for that from 7 to 9:30 p.m. Thursday, we have our Real Book Club, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Friday, we have our movie. If you want to know what it is, come and check out Monday Night Halftime. And then finally, don't forget, we have our drawing for $10. You could win a $500 gift card or $50. You get actually 6 tickets for $50. Also, I do kindly ask that anyone who listens to any of our videos, if you do like any of them, please hit the like and subscribe. And if you do have any questions or any suggestions on what you'd like for us to cover, do send us an email at ibugtoday@gmail.com. I want to first go ahead and say thank you to Pete Lane for doing this in-depth presentation on the BARD app. Pete, thank you so much. I also want to thank each of you for attending this cafe and asking these questions. Really appreciate you spending the time here. I also want to thank Julie, our Zoom administrator, keeping us in check. We had over 50 people attending, so thank you, Julie, for doing that. Michael and Sandhya, do you have any final thoughts?
This is Sandhya. Yes, I just want to say amazing presentation, so much detail, and yeah, I definitely learned all about how to control SIRI with BARD. I'm very excited about that. And let's date myself. I mean, just think how blessed we are to have this app where we can get books at the instant, in an instant, and when I was a little kid, we used to walk in the snow. No, we had little cassette tapes that came in little green boxes that were on our patio.
Oh, yeah.
So this is like amazing. So thank you, and just be grateful. Just think about how lucky we are. And so thank you, Pete, for
And it's
sharing.
all free. That's what baffles me.
Yeah, we're
thank you,
really,
Sandhya.
really, truly blessed. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Sandhya. So with that said, I will like to let everyone know, come and meet with us next month at the second Sunday at the cafe. We're going to take a look at another very, very popular app called Facebook. That should be very interesting. Please join us at that time. So with that said, I wish everyone a happy and a wonderful evening.
Thanks, everybody.